Welcome back. I'm excited to be back. In my last video, I did say that I was going to talk about consistency, but honestly, I don't have the credentials to be talking about consistency yet. So when I get there, I will talk about that. But for now, I think I want to make a part two of my last video because there's a lot of points that I didn't hit that I did want to hit. So I'm just gonna get straight into it. So if you didn't watch part one of You Gotta Leave People Behind, get on that, tap in. I think I'm gonna start with the type of people that you do, like recognizing who exactly you need to cut off. I'm just gonna give an example of people who love to talk and don't love to do. One girl, one lady in particular who just loved to tell me about her goals and things that she was gonna do, businesses that she was gonna open, places that she was gonna go this year, and I'd be excited for her. I would actually be inspired by her, and honestly, I was getting a lot of things done for myself because of her and because of the things that she said she was doing and the things that she said she was going to do. But I was realizing that I was making a lot of forward movement and she wasn't making any forward movement. So it was kind of a weird dynamic where she was telling me all these things that she was going to achieve and do and become, and it just wasn't happening. Then it was happening for me because I was actually applying what I wanted with what I was doing. And then we were kind of butting heads because of the fact that I'm doing things and she's just talking about doing those things. And then it started to become kind of a toxic relationship where she was kind of, I don't want to say like envying me, but in some kind of way it was that it was hard for me to come to the conclusion that I needed her as inspiration and motivation. But now that I'm past the phase of needing inspiration and motivation from an external source, being her, it was hard for me to realize that this was somebody that I needed to let go of because she's gotten me to the point where I'm inspirational to myself now. But now she's holding me back because she's not making any action or any forward movement for herself. I realized that it was a huge disservice to myself just trying to consistently hold that friendship together because we just weren't at the same place at all after a certain point. And that's okay. You outgrow people, even if it's quickly. And the reason why I also had a hard time letting go of this friendship is because I outgrew her so quickly. Because as soon as she started to motivate me and inspire me and give me like that vocal motivation, I started like hitting everything that I needed to hit in order to excel in my life. So I felt kind of guilty, I guess, kind of just like taking that inspiration and then leaving her. But if people are not growing with you, that's not your fault. That's their fault. So, yeah, moving on from that, when you learn how and who to leave behind, you are making mental, emotional, and physical room to have people who are talking the talk and walking the walk, not just talking about things and then letting those dreams die, but growing with you and motivating you along your journey and not just at the beginning of it. So, how I like to think about it is to imagine my ideal self and the type of people that I would want to be around me in my happiest state, in my most successful state, in my most abundant state. And it really works because I don't want somebody that's just telling me things to do and they're not doing it. No. Okay, moving on, but kind of within the same category, understanding when effort in a friendship or in a relationship is unbalanced on both sides. So for me, what I realized is a lot of my friends would pour into me a lot more than I would pour into them. And again, I was feeling guilty about that. But then after some reflection, I was realizing that I wasn't pouring into them because, like I said in my last video, they just weren't on the same timing that I was on. They weren't on the same wavelength. They weren't going the same places that I wanted to go. Their values and their morals and their dreams or their ambitions just were, I don't want to say smaller than mine, but weren't of the same size. Okay. After coming to that conclusion, I really took the initiative to just dead it there. The last thing I wanted to add to my previous video was I spoke about being kind of the black sheep of like different friend groups and of the family. And I just wanted to add that if like it's okay, and usually, not usually, it's okay to be the black sheep of a toxic family or the black sheep of a toxic friend group. And if we're gonna be a black sheep of anything anywhere, you need to be the blackest, the baddest, blackest sheep there is, okay? Don't be ashamed of it. What I realize is people will try to make it negative that you don't fit into their little small circle or their little small world, their little negative world that they've created. And you not fitting into that world is not a disservice to you. It's only a disservice if you allow them to guilt trip you into being of that world. Because if that's not where you belong, if that's energetically not aligning with you, build your own little world of black sheep. Anyways, yeah, those are some of the points I wanted to add on to You Gotta Leave People Behind. I'll probably have a third version and a fourth version of this video, but for now,